The Jurassic Park franchise has introduced fans to some of the most famous dinosaurs in history. Yet as time passed and discoveries were made, the inaccuracies of the creatures on the big screen became more and more apparent, even being referenced by some of the franchise's characters. Despite that, one thing can be considered accurate: the size of the dinosaurs, at least relatively speaking. In this video, we will discuss the top 10 biggest dinosaurs in the Jurassic World franchise. To keep things simple, we'll rank them based on their heights and compare them to everyday objects. First up, we have the Stegosaurus, who's no doubt one of the best known dinosaurs and is recognized all over the world. It's the largest and most famous member of the Stegosaur family. It roamed the open plains of the late Jurassic period in what is now North America. The plates along its back, its small head, and spiked tail make it a peculiar and unique dinosaur. Stegosaurus is often called the dumbest dinosaur because of its incredibly small brain. My girlfriend finally has some competition. A Stegosaurus, standing about 13 feet tall, was roughly the height of a modern delivery truck or a one-story house. To put it in perspective, it would be a few feet taller than a basketball hoop and just a bit shorter than an adult giraffe. If two average adults stood on each other's shoulders, they'd be about the same height as this prehistoric giant. On number 9, we have the fan favorite Rexy, aka T-Rex. She became the mascot of the entire franchise, often being a deus ex machina for the protagonists, be it as an unexpected new threat or a sudden savior turning the tide in favor of the human characters. Indeed, within the last few movies, T-Rex has been pivotal in saving their lives on more than one occasion, helping to fight both the Indominus Rex and the Gigantosaurus. When it comes to T-Rex, estimates have it standing at 12 to 13 feet at the hip and 16 to 18 feet at the head. It would have to lower itself into a more level position to successfully chase and eat its prey. That means it can tower above others when standing at its full height, making it a truly terrifying predator of the ancient world. If one were alive today, it would tower over most vehicles and people, its head high above the treetops and rooftops. At 18 feet tall, T-Rex was just a little shorter than a two-story house and easily loomed over everything in its path. Gigantosaurus is the next dinosaur to feature on this list. Translated as giant southern lizard, the Gigantosaurus is one of the largest meat-eating dinosaurs ever discovered. It certainly lives up to its name, standing at a staggering 18 feet tall in Jurassic World Dominion. In addition to its size, the Gigantosaurus has other traits that make it an incredibly potent predator, even among other dinosaurs. For starters, the species has an above-average strength that allows it to exceed the power of even T-Rex. This is why they can go toe-to-toe with one and do some serious damage, even having a higher-than-likely chance of killing it. As a result, the Gigantosaurus DNA was one of the key ingredients of the Indominus Rex. Gigantosaurus stood about 18.1 feet tall, making it just a bit taller than a Tyrannosaurus Rex. That's roughly the height of a two-story house, or about 3 average adult humans stacked on top of each other. Up next, we have the Apotosaurus. Apotosaurus was a massive, long-necked dinosaur that roamed North America over 150 million years ago. Despite its intimidating size, it was a peaceful herbivore, likely spending its days grazing on low-lying plants and using its long neck to sweep wide areas without moving much. Its enormous body was supported by thick, pillar-like legs, and its tail stretched out behind it like a heavy counterbalance, possibly even cracking like a whip. There's much speculation about how much these creatures needed to eat and how such a small head could ingest enough food to fuel such a large body. Some scientists have stated that these huge, small-headed creatures would have needed to eat every waking moment in order to provide enough food to keep such a large body alive. Seeing one in person would be like watching a living wall of muscle slowly drifting through ancient forests. If you stood next to it, its head would tower above you like the roof of a two-story house, because an Apotosaurus stood an incredible 20 feet tall. Therosinosaurus is a spindly but massive creature that makes its live-action debut in Jurassic World Dominion. The blind creature memorably stalks Claire Deering as she moves through the Biosyn enclosure. The Therosinosaurus eventually returns for the final battle, joining the T-Rex as it fights the Gigantosaurus in an epic face-off. Though depicted as being blind in the film, Therosinosaurus is incredibly dangerous. The creature was upwards of 16 to 20 feet in length and could weigh as much as 5 tons. Furthermore, Therosinosaurus sports long talons. Given that the animal's real-world history suggests herbivorous traits, it's not totally clear what the claws were used for, but foraging is one possibility. Standing next to one would have been surreal. It would loom over you at the height of a 2-story building, because Therosinosaurus stood about 20 feet tall, just like an Apotosaurus, but looked like it came from a completely different world. Argued by many to be the longest of the carnivorous dinosaurs, there's no doubt that the Spinosaurus is also one of the biggest. Its appearances in Jurassic Park 3 and Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous have demonstrated how the Spinosaurus is a formidable foe, able to take on a T-Rex by itself and even take one down. Granted, this was a sub-adult, and it would later take on 2 fully grown T-Rex, where it it would be forced to retreat. Spinosaurus literally broke the internet when it defeated a legit T-Rex on screen. The fact that it decided to retreat against two T-Rex shows that it's smarter than my girlfriend and actually knows when to give up. Since it's almost the same height as Apotosaurus or Therosinosaurus, there's no point in comparing it to everyday objects. Every fan of Jurassic Park will know the Indominus Rex, the very first hybrid dinosaur. A combination of multiple genetic sources, both modern and prehistoric, the Indominus Rex also has the distinction of being one of the largest dinosaurs ever seen in the movies. This can be attributed to Gigantosaurus being part of its genetic makeup, ensuring increased size and strength, coupled with many deadly attributes such as the ability to camouflage, hide from thermal detection, and its natural speed and strength, make it one of the deadliest dinosaurs to ever exist. In the Jurassic Park franchise, of course, as it was not a true dinosaur in our world. This dinosaur is slightly taller than Therosinosaurus at 21 feet, so you can already imagine how tall it would be compared to everyday objects. Some of y'all might get shocked by this, but Dreadnotus are number 3. Considered the heaviest dinosaur to have ever existed, the Dreadnotus truly earns the classification of Titanosaur. What's even more impressive is that the fossil used to develop the Dreadnotus was one of a juvenile, meaning the Dreadnotus clones seen on the big screen may very well grow even bigger. Dreadnotus is one of the biggest dinosaurs there is in the Jurassic World franchise, showcasing the true splendor of the prehistoric world. This species doesn't play a big role in the movies, but does showcase just how grand the scale of dinosaurs could be. To stand next to one would be like looking up at a 3-story building or a mature telephone pole. Dreadnotus stood an astonishing 30 feet tall, towering over nearly everything around it, including other giant dinosaurs. At number 2, we have the Brachiosaurus, one of the tallest dinosaurs that ever lived. It had a very long neck and stood like a giraffe, with its front legs longer than its back legs. This helped it eat leaves from the tops of trees that other dinosaurs couldn't reach. You might remember it from Jurassic Park, that amazing scene where a Brachiosaurus stands up on its back legs to eat leaves from a tall tree. It wasn't a scary dinosaur, it only ate plants, but it was huge. In Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, there's a very sad moment when a Brachiosaurus is left behind on the island as a volcano erupts. This giant dinosaur could grow as tall as a 4-story building, about 43 feet high. That's taller than anything walking around today. It would be taller than a standard telephone pole, which is typically around 30 feet, and its height would surpass that of a typical school bus, which is about 12 feet tall. If you stacked about 7 adult humans on top of each other, they still wouldn't reach its towering height. While this particular ancient creature doesn't stand on its own, the Mosasaurus' natural size and ferocity are worth highlighting. The Mosasaurus was an enormous, ferocious marine reptile, not actually a dinosaur, that ruled the ancient oceans. Think of it as a giant, toothy torpedo, streamlined for speed, with jaws strong enough to crush a car. In Jurassic World, it's the star of the lagoon show, leaping out like a killer whale to snatch a great white shark midair. By Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, it's grown even bigger, big enough to swallow a submarine whole, and in Dominion, it even attacks fishermen off the coast of Malta. The exact height is up for debate, as is its length. Throughout the movies, the animal's estimated length has varied. Mosasaurus reached an impressive 56 feet in length, making it one of the largest sea creatures of its time. To visualize its size, think of a blue whale, which can grow up to 80 feet long, but is still only a bit larger than the Mosasaurus. Its length would stretch longer than most school buses lined up end to end, which are about 40 feet long. If you stack 3 adult giraffes one on top of the other, Mosasaurus would still be longer. Well, we're not exactly mentioning Mosasaurus because of its height, since it's a marine creature. This winds up our list. Let me know in the comments if I've missed any dinosaurs. Till next time!